The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against such things, and those who belong to Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live by the Spirit, let us also be guided by the Spirit. At Northwest, we are currently in a series through Lent focusing on the question, who am I? We are exploring what Christian faith means for our self-identities as well as our collective identity as a congregation. How does the story of Jesus and the image of God that He provides us shape how we understand ourselves and our purpose? This coming Sunday, we'll explore a particularly powerful and paradoxical understanding of redeemed human identity in light of Jesus' life and love. We'll focus on the opening chapters of Paul's first letter to the church in Corinth. The church in first century Corinth was somewhat of a mess. That's one reason that Paul's letters to them are still so powerful and relevant in the 21st century America. We'll look at how Paul guides them by reminding them about just what it means to be empowered by the Spirit of Almighty God, which is to be empowered by the Spirit of Jesus, the crucified Lord. Paul's reflections for the Corinthians make some of the most powerful literature in human history. But today, I want to highlight some components of being Spirit-centered from one of Paul's other letters, Galatians. Paul describes the kinds of character qualities and behaviors that stem from God's empowering presence in the Spirit. They are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. What are some things that we can notice about this fruit of the Spirit that it produces in our lives? First, notice that fruit is singular. These character qualities aren't the fruits of the Spirit, they are the fruit of the Spirit. In other words, the Spirit helps us become people who exhibit all these kinds of behaviors. The Spirit doesn't empower us to be patient, but leave us as unkind. The Spirit doesn't make us joyful, but leave us as unloving. The Spirit makes us peaceful and generous, faithful and gentle. The Spirit empowers the renewal and transformation of our whole selves. Second, notice that the fruit of the Spirit manifests in embodied living. Paul uses the word flesh here, and he also uses the word body. These are two different words in Greek. For Paul, as in the whole Jewish tradition, creation, including our bodies, are good. In fact, from page 1 in the Bible, they are quote-unquote very good. Flesh is not a reference to our physicality, our embodiedness. Flesh is a reference to human agency that is still untransformed by God's Spirit. Notice how spiritual fruit manifests in concrete reality, in and through our bodies. How could we love if not in our bodies? Or how could we be gentle? Gentleness carries meaning that evokes an incomprehensibly complex system of neurons that runs from our wonderful brains to the nerve endings in our fingertips and our toes. It's only in our bodies that we could feel either the horrid pain of hatred or the life-giving warmth of a gentle embrace. Third, notice how spiritual fruit manifests explicitly in community rather than as individuals. Paul is consistently addressing entire communities in his letters. Notice how hard it would be to produce this fruit by yourself. In order to love, you need to be around someone to love, to be kind to be gentle with, and generous for. You have to be around people that love you, that are kind to you, generous and patient and gentle with you. The fruit of the Spirit is the ingredients of reconciled community. If we want to know what authentic reconciliation and spiritual life looks like, we'll look for a holistic community that embodies these life-giving qualities. This is why fruit is such a good metaphor. Fruit nourishes, it gives life. The fruit of the Spirit gives true life to a whole community, and eventually to a whole world.